Okay, so now we're going to do the forearm positioning. Forearm is one that people kind of forget the cassette size a lot on. So right off the bat, just to reiterate, 14 by 17 for the forearm. 10 by 12 some people can fit on, but it often isn't going to get the 1.5 to 2 inches past each of the joint spaces, the wrist and the elbow. So make sure you get in your head that this is the 14 by 17. So I'm going to have my patient scoot his chair a little bit towards me, actually, just because we can't move this, because this is where the light field's going to be no matter what, you know. So for this image, the hand is supinated again, and you want to make sure that the wrist, the elbow, and the humerus are on the same plane. So if you need to, when your patient is sitting, if the table doesn't go any higher, like this one is at a parked height, then they're just going to have to scoot back a little bit if they need to, so that they have, again, wrist, elbow, and humerus all on the same equal plane. Okay? You're centering for the mid forearm for this. So I'm just going to have my patient lift their arm just a little bit, right back down. I'm going to bring you towards me just a little bit. Perfect. Lift up one more time for me. Right back down. And again, I want this forearm to be aligned with the longitudinal axis of that cassette. If I was to do this and the forearm was on the cassette like this, that means when your forearm pops up for the radiologist, it's going to be sideways, and they're going to have to do taco neck to see the picture, and that's going to be uncomfortable. So you want to, if possible, if the forearm's short enough, you want to do it straight up and down, aligned with the longitudinal axis of this IR. Again, centered mid forearm, and then have 1.5 to 2 inches past each of the joint spaces, and transverse collimation 0.5 inches on either side of that soft tissue. Okay? So, right about there makes me happy. And this is my patient's right arm, so I need a right marker. So I'm going to put that anywhere within the light field just so that it can be out of the way for our image. So right on that light field is good. Okay, so that is your AP forearm. If a patient is struggling to keep their hand supinated and flat, what you can do if you have one available is take a sandbag and just place it on top of the hand. Or if somebody has a lot of shaking, either due to pain or even some pathologies, for example, like Parkinson's disease, where people shake uncontrollably, you could put a sandbag on that hand to make it so that it wasn't moving. So that is your AP forearm. For the lateral forearm, you're actually going to have your patient turn in their chair so that they're facing the outside of the table. And then turn your cassette so it's going the long ways. And then what you're going to do is you're keeping everything on the same plane, and then you're going to turn that elbow so that it's at 90, okay? And we're going to bring our equipment down to where the forearm is and change our light field. I'm going to have you scoot forward just a little bit on your chair. Right, yep. Get right about there. Perfect. Biggest thing that people mess up on this one, lift up for me for just a second, right back down, good, is they forget to get past the posterior portion or the back of the elbow. So just make sure that when you collimate this, you give yourself the light field behind the elbow, and you're not clipping off the posterior portion closer to that humerus. Okay? Again, karate chopped hand position, giving you that aligned longitudinal axis again, and then you hang your forearm images again from the fingertips. So you want to put your marker, your right marker, legibly down so that it would be readable. So you'll put it in your light field, anywhere outside the light field so it's not in the anatomy of interest. 40-inch SID. 90 degrees with that elbow, okay? Not too much to that one either. 14 by 17 inch cassette.